Now guess who else has been bitten by the crypto bug? Well, it is Chingari, a social media platform for short videos that came about after the ban on TikTok. What they've done is they've chosen Solana, or rather they have decided to collaborate with Solana when it comes for this. To talk more about this, we've been joined by the co-founder of Chingari, Sumit, as well as from Solana, we've been joined by Akshay VD. Guys, welcome to Startup Central. Sumit, I'll come to you first. Cryptos, Solana, Chingari, what's going on? What's the connection?
Sure. First of all, thanks, Nintara, for having me in your show. So this is, I think, Gari is a revolution of its sorts in the social media space, where Chingari, being the first social network which wants to give ownership and governance back to its users. So everything that every content that you create on Chingari, now becomes an NFT on the Solana blockchain, and creators actually own their own content now, rather than the content being owned by networks like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And whenever these NFTs get bought, sold, or traded, the creators make money. So it's like giving ownership and governance rights and power back to the creators. That's what this adoption is all about.
Sumit, is this going to be a little bit like the Twitter tip jar? It's rolled out the payment in cryptos in the US. Is this what it is? Like basically tipping or paying for content, which you will do in this one crypto?
Not exactly. So it's Twitter tip jar is just a Bitcoin integration within the Twitter ecosystem, where they're allowing Bitcoin also as a payment mode for tipping. Whereas Chingari's introduction of Gari is a deep integration of blockchain within the Chingari app, within the Chingari ecosystem, where Gari as the token actually becomes part of the platform, part of the decision making within the platform, and also like all the transactions within Chingari will now be done by Gari. All the features around the creator economy, where tipping is one use case, but there are several other use cases where like all the Gari holders will be able to put up proposals, on-chain proposals, and then all the Gari holders will be able to vote on these proposals, and then the successful proposals will actually be executed by a DAO, which will own the treasury. So this is like a DAO run asset, a DAO governed asset, being deeply integrated into day-to-day functioning of Chingari. It's very different from what Twitter is just doing with its tip jar.
Coming to you now, Akshay, why did Solana like Chingari? What can be done with this?
Yeah, look, I think from Solana's perspective, the idea is to encourage as many Web2 companies or even just crypto native companies to use a high performance blockchain like Solana that is, high throughput, high speed, low fees to conduct their business on without having to worry about, any sort of scaling solutions that they have to use and things like this. And so that allows companies to think creatively about how to give the ownership of these platforms back to the users. If I were to summarize the power of Web3, it is that the users own these platforms, and blockchains allow users to become owners. And NFTs are a small way to do that in the content and creator economy, where every video or every picture generated is owned by the user who creates or generates that picture or video and can monetize that. And so that is, I think, the exciting opportunity where, Web2 platforms were built off of the back of the work that users like you and I did, where we did all the hard work, created all the content, but really didn't get to own a piece of, a large social networking company. Somebody else owned those companies and took them public, investors and employees, a small group of folks. But here in Web3, the folks who help build the platform, i.e., the folks who help create the content, will be partial owners in the platform. I think that's the most exciting part. It ushers a new era of like the ownership economy.
But Akshay, come in here with your expertise, and I'll ask Sumit this as well. Now, as we all know, when all of this layer 1, layer 2 solutions happen on the blockchain, or let me tell our viewers, it's always good to have a token because then it can fund what is going on the blockchain, right? Now, Chingari has chosen Gary. What was the rationale behind that? Why didn't you guys look at existing tokens? Actually, this is for you.
Yeah, I think Sumit is probably best positioned to answer this. I would say that every internal economy should have its own token, right? And the Chingari ecosystem has tens of millions of users creating content every day, and it's its own internal economy, right? And so that internal economy is best. It's like how I guess the best analogy is the way to think about this. Every closed system where a set of users and producers and users are interacting should ideally interact in its own native token. And that's why Chingari has the ability to do that, because there is one single token that all of its users, all of its content creators can use to monetize their content or support their favorite creators.
Yeah, I would like to add to that. The rationale of creating Gari was that, we wanted to have our own, native smart contracts where, developers and the community would be free to build on top of that and would be compensated with the Gari tokens for that. So the idea of building our own native token was that the community will remain in control of that. And also, like, since we are building it from ground up, we could give it a direction around social tokens. The like most of the other chains or networks which you are looking today who offer tokens, they may not fulfill all the requirements, or they may not have the smart contracts that we need already. So which is why we built Gari so that we can give a direction to the initial set of smart contracts that need to be in that token, and then the community can come in and they can build on top of it to fulfill the need of how Gari asset should be built. And that was the rationale behind it.
I get the token system. I get the token system, which is why I started my question by saying it's always preferred, it becomes self-funding. But let me ask you this way then. You started with the Gari token. Will you allow, whether it is an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, fractionalized cryptos, the coins, the other token coins that have come out, will you allow all of that?
So right now, Gari is being built on Solana, which the obvious reason which Akshay mentioned, low fees, high transaction throughput to support. To support the user base of Chingari, like a web scale company, we need a platform like that. But we are happy to have Gari cross chain in other L1 chains in the future, where if we feel the community wants, like the Gari community wants to be on another L1 chain, we are happy to enable that. But right now our focus is to be on Solana, and I think Solana fits our business needs and requirements to the T, and which is why we chose Solana. And for now, we want to build on Solana. But eventually, yes, we are open to be cross chain on any chains. It's a community project. If the community wants to tomorrow, Gari should be also available on Matic, why not? We are open to that.
Akshay, how will you and Chingari popularize this? One aspect is the funding part. I get that. How will you popularize this? That here's Chingari, you can do payments. One day it'll lead to e-commerce, NFTs.
Yeah, I think the most exciting part of something like this is the ability for creators and anybody who's making content to earn, right? I think this is not an invitation by any means to have people invest in it or things like that. For every project like this, there's always a group of investors who fulfill certain criteria, and they get access to invest in this at the appropriate stages. But what is most relevant and most interesting about this is not the investment angle. It's the idea that people can earn sitting in their hometowns in these capital assets. the same thing that the investors are buying, you are earning with your content. And that is so powerful because, you could not, this is like, earning in the shares of your favorite social media company as an example, right? That would be the rough analogy where you're getting a piece of the network in exchange for the work you're doing. And creators until now did not have this opportunity because whenever they posted content, they would typically, have to have hundreds of thousands of followers before they can meaningfully, monetize for ads. And to us, this idea of being able to earn is the most interesting aspect of the creator economy.
And Akshay Vidi, will you then work with other social media platforms? This is just a start.
Look, it's an open blockchain. Anybody can build on it, and we will support projects. I think this is a big kudos to someone like Sumit, who has built such a successful Web2 company and has decided to take this kind of leap of faith to, go all in on Web3 at a time and space when everyone's now thinking about it. Sumit and his team are already launching a Web3 product from Web 2.1, and we couldn't be more excited to be a part of this incredibly bold decision, and what we think is ultimately the correct one for both Chingari as well as the creator economy participants and creators.
Sumit, if you're doing this on Chingari, and I don't know if the others, whether it's, Shed Chat, Josh, will the others be doing it or not? But I want to ask you this one question. When you talk about allowing the creators to earn money, which Akshay said can be from the comfort of your home, wherever your home is, will you only allow it with cryptos, or will you also allow it with fiat, with regular currency?
The point of building this token is that you get not just earning opportunity but also governance rights, which is not possible with fiat. So the logic of putting up a blockchain based solution to incentivize creators and to monetize their content was not just incentivize them to make money. It was also to make them part of governance, which is only possible through gari or through blockchain, not possible through fiat. Which is why the incentives will be only crypto, only gari.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll leave it at that. It's a big day for cryptos as well. Before we had you both on, we were also talking about the ETFs that has been permitted in the United States, the first such Bitcoin ETF. So clearly, we see a lot of innovation, a lot of disruptive products that are going to come out in the days and weeks.